Good day everyone, I am Nica Dable, and I will be introducing to you one of the most exciting and fast-paced team sport played across the world, Futsal. So what is Futsal? Futsal is a scaled-down indoor soccer game similar to that of an outdoor football game. It is a sport that requires precision, technical skills, and quick reflexes that may be vital to the outcome of the match. Futsal is also a sport that is most popular in South American countries like Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. Likewise, in this report, we will cover the different aspects involved in the team sport futsal, namely, the history of the game, the different terminologies, the important laws of the game, the court layout, the values behind the sport, and a demonstration of the basic skills. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Futsal or five-a-side soccer originated from Montevideo, Uruguay in 1930. It was when Juan Carlos Soriani created a five-a-side version of soccer for youth competition in the YMCAs. The game is played on basketball-sized courts, both indoors and outdoors, without the use of sidewalls. On the other note, Juan Carlos is a physical education teacher in Uruguay. Futsal was devised when his football team cannot proceed to the competition due to the bad weather. Therefore, the game was moved into the room. The term futsal is the international term used for the game. It is derived from the Spanish or Portuguese word for soccer, which is football, and the French or Spanish word for indoor, which is salon or sala. The term was adopted by US since it includes the initials U, S, and A in the word futsal. The term was trademarked in the United States after US Futsal changed its corporate name within the state of California. The game is known and called for as five-a-side or mini soccer. Its development continues in Brazil and Uruguay in the 1930s and the 1940s due to the lack of football fields. In Brazil, futsal is played by young players to develop the skills required for both the indoor and the outdoor versions of the game. Many of the world's leading football stars started with futsal first and then moved on to playing the outdoor version of the game. The skill developed in this game is visible in the world-famous style the Brazilians displayed outdoors on the full-sized fields. Pelé, Zico, Socrates, and Bebeto and other Brazilian superstars developed the skill playing futsal. While Brazil continues to be the futsal hub of the world, the game is now played under the provision of FIFA all over the world from Europe to the North and Central America, the Caribbean, South America, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. In our country, the Philippine Futsal League is the top-flight futsal league. The league hosts separate competition for both women and men. It was founded in 2009 and was organized by the Futsal Committee of the Philippine Football Federation, headed by Iranian coach Esmail Sedai, who formerly coached the Philippines national futsal team. The Philippines national futsal team represents the Philippines in various international futsal competition under the Philippine Football Federation and is also affiliated with the Asian Football Confederation.
Paraguay won the first South American Cup, an international competition that took place in 1965. Through 1979, Brazil dominated the South American Cup with 6 consecutive wins. Brazil continued its dominance with a victory in the first Pan-American Cup in 1980 and won it again the next time it was played in 1984. A US team took part in the 1984 Cup but finished out of the running. The U.S. Futsal Federation was founded in 1981 and incorporated in January 1983. The first U.S. Futsal Federation president was Osvaldo Garcia. The game is referred to as mini soccer, 5-a-side soccer, football sala, or football de salao, but it is also widely referred by its trademark name, futsal. The current federation president of the U.S. Futsal Federation is Alex J.C. Parra. The first Futsal World Championship took place in Sao Paulo, Brazil in 1982, where Brazil won first place. It was conducted under the auspices of FIFUSA, or Federación Internacional de Fútbol de Salón, before its members integrated to FIFA in 1989. The Brazilians repeated as champions at the second World Championship in 1985 in Spain, but lost in the third World Championship in 1988 in Australia to Paraguay. FIFA took over direct sponsorship of the event in 1989 in Holland and 1992 in Hong Kong. Brazil won both times. The U.S. Futsal indoor team finished third in 1989 and second in 1992 at the FIFA 5-a-side World Championship, the highest showing by any team from the United States in a FIFA tournament until the U.S. women's team won the gold medal in China for outdoor soccer. The third FIFA World Championship was held in November 24 through December 11, 1996 in Spain, and for the first time, FIFA names it the FIFA Futsal World Championship. The fourth FIFA Futsal World Championship was held in Guatemala between November 18 to December 4, year 2000. The fifth Futsal World Championship was held in Taipei in December 2004.
The first international futsal match played by the U.S. Futsal national team was in May 1984 in Nanaimo, Canada, and the United States won by the score of 6-5. The first international futsal match in the United States was held in December 1985 at Sonoma State University in Rohnert Park, California. The U.S. select team defeated Australia by the score of 9-5. Futsal has conducted a national championship each year since 1985. Futsal is establishing itself at the youth level in the US. The Boys and Girls Clubs of America took a strong interest after the Columbia Park in San Francisco asked the federation to give a demonstration. The national organization adopted the sport, and it is now played at about 1,100 boys and girls clubs throughout the U.S. The American Youth Soccer Organization, or AYSO, also plays the sport in a close working relationship with the U.S. Futsal since 1988. On the 2nd of May, 1990, the Brazilian Federation finally broke away from FIFUSA, and on 25th of September, an event in Bogota, Colombia, contributed to the founding of the Confederación Panamericana de Fútbol de Salón, or PANAFutsal, together with Paraguay, Colombia, Mexico, Uruguay, Argentina, Venezuela, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Bolivia, Ecuador, the Netherlands Antilles, Aruba, and Canada. The conference held in Guatemala in 2000 between members of PANAFutsal and FIFA focused on the resolution of the dispute between the two institutions and on the achievement of futsal in the pure version that excited many in South America. The signing of the protocol, however, was not followed by concrete actions. FIFA kept on promoting its version of futsal, so the PANAFutsal decided to create a new worldwide body for the preservation of futsal. In December 2002, the Association Mundial de Futsal, or AMF, was founded. It is currently composed of 40 national federations and 3 continental bodies, one of which was FIFS. In 2002, members of PANAFutsal formed AMF, an international futsal governing body independent of FIFA, in reaction to the alleged stagnancy of futsal under FIFUSA. Both FIFA and AMF continue to administer the game.
It is essential to know various sports terminology as it increases general awareness and helps enjoy sports program to the maximum. It also encourages several people to join the field of sports as they feel more confident about it. To follow what is said previously, here are some common terminologies used in futsal that you need to know. Dribbling. Dribbling is a technique that consists of kicking the ball under control while moving down the field without being dispossessed by an opponent. Handball. This is called when a player other than the goalkeeper touches the ball with a hand or any part of the arm. Penalty kick. This is awarded to the attacking team player when fouled inside the penalty box and when the opponent team has an illegal substitution. Direct opponent. This is the defender's nearest opponent and player that they are marking. Block. Block is an attacking action where a player stands in the trajectory of a defender to hold them back from following their direct opponent. This term has two types, the direct and the indirect block. Direct block refers to an action executed by one player on an opposing player defending against a teammate who is in possession. Indirect block refers to an action executed by one player on an opposing player defending against another teammate who is not in possession but is looking to receive the ball. Feint. It is the term that refers to an action when an attacker without the ball uses a sudden change of speed or direction to lose their marker and gain space. It is considered an important resource in futsal due to the lack of space and frequency of 1v1 situations. Fly goalkeeper. It takes place when the goalkeeper comes into the opponent's half to take part in positional attack and create numerical superiority. It is often used at the end of the game by the losing team to try to make a comeback. Russian change. It happens when 4 players are substituted for 4 others all at the same time, made famous by teams from Russia. Opening. The first phase of attacking transition. This is the first pass after possession is recovered. Transition. The moment when possession changes from one team to another. Under this term, there are 3 types of attacking transitions. Positional attack. Positional attack refers to an attacking transition when all the opponent's defenders are behind the ball and organized defensively. Fast attack. Fast attack refers to another attacking transition when a player tries to attack the opponent's goal with speed while all the opposition defenders are behind the ball and are not defensively organized. Counter-attack. Counter-attack is an attacking action after a change of possession or transition to arrive at the opponent's goal with speed before the 4 defenders are in a position to defend. Generally, 1/3 of all goals are scored from these situations, and it is the most efficient way to score out of all the 3 types of attack.
Corner kick. This occurs when a ball is kicked across the goal line last touched by the defending team. A corner kick is a method of restarting play. A corner kick is awarded when the ball is touched and last placed by a player of the defending team and passes over the goal line, without goal being scored. Could be scored goal directly from a corner kick. Position of the ball and players. The ball must be inside the corner arc nearest to the point where the ball crossed the goal line. Opponents must be in the playing surface at least 5 meters from the corner arc. Next, kick in. Results if the ball goes out of bounds. The ball is placed on the touchline and must be kicked within 4 seconds. The kick in is a method of restarting play after the ball has left the sideline. A kick in is awarded to the opposing team if a player touched the ball last. when the ball has completely crosses the touchline or hits the ceiling. A goal may not be scored directly from a kick-in. Position of the players. The players of the defending team shall be at least 5 meters from the place where the kick-in is taken. Next, trapping. Stopping the ball with a part of your body to gain control. It is the act of receiving the ball in futsal. The trapping can be performed when any part of the body eligible by the futsal rules, such as feet, thigh, chest, head, among other parts. The main and most indicated technique for receiving, trapping the ball in futsal is the stepping, which is when the futsal player dominates the ball by stepping on it with the sole of the foot. Next, screen. When an attacker cuts, runs between the ball carrier and their direct opponent, used to relieve the pressure on the ball. Another term is delaying, when a player acts to slow down the attack or defense to allow their teammate to recover and take their correct positions.
Free kick. This is awarded to a team at the spot where a player commits a penalty. It can be a direct or indirect. A direct free kick. If a direct free kick is kicked directly into the opponent's goal, a goal is awarded. The indirect free kick. A goal can be scored only if the ball subsequently touches another player before it enters the goal. The position of free kick. All opponents must be at least 5 meters from the ball until it is played. The ball is in play after it has been touched or played. Double foul. The result in a drop ball because both teams committed fouls simultaneously. Goal throw. This occurs when a ball is kicked across the goal line, not in goal, last touched by the attacking team. Pressure. Individual defensive action which relates to the distance between the defender and the ball carrier. The closer the defender is, the more space and passing lines they cover. Recovery. It is the action of players running back to be in position to defend their goal when their team loses possession. Between the lines. When an attacking action where the attacker occupies the space between the opponent's defensive lines. Ball time. It is referred to the movement by the defender to close the ball carrier during the trajectory of pass rather than once the attacker is in possession. Set plays or set pieces. These are the pre-rehearsed moves from a dead ball situation such as a corner, kick-in, free kick, and kick-off. Generally, nearly a 1/3 of all goals are scored from these situations. Rotations. It is the term used when the attacking team interchanges positions and makes movements into space while maintaining positional balance. They are used during a positional attack with the objective to create space through disorganizing the opponent's defense while maintaining defensive balance in case possession is lost. These coordinated movements can be predetermined or improvised.
Now in this segment of the video, we will be discussing about the laws officiated in futsal. Now within this timeline, the current Philippine futsal laws comprise of 18 laws, which we will be discussing shortly. Now the first law is about the pitch. The surface of the pitch must be flat and smooth and be comprised of non-abrasive surfaces, preferably made of wood or artificial material. Now for the pitch markings, the pitch must be rectangular and marked with continuous lines. These lines belong to the areas of which they are boundaries and must be clearly distinguishable from the color of the pitch. Now, for the pitch dimensions, the length of the touchline must be greater than the length of the goal line. All lines must be 8 centimeters wide. Now for non-international matches, the dimensions are as follows. The length of the touchline should be at a minimum of 25 meters and a maximum of 42 meters. The width of the goal line must be a minimum of 16 meters and a maximum of 25 meters. For international matches, the dimensions are as follows. The length of the touchline should be a minimum of 38 meters to a maximum of 42 meters. The width of the goal line should be a minimum of 20 meters to a maximum of 25 meters. Now for our second law, law number 2 is about the ball. The ball should be size number 4 with a circumference of 62 to 64 centimeters. The weight should be 390 to 430 grams. Then, upon selecting a ball, the bounce of the ball should be 55 to 65 centimeters on the first bounce. Furthermore, the material should be comprised of leather or other suitable materials. Moving on, we have law number 3, which is the number of players. The minimum number of players to start match should be 5, one of whom shall be a goalkeeper. The minimum number of players to finish match is 3. The maximum number of substitutes is 7, and the substitution limit should be none. And the substitution method should be a flying substitution, wherein all players but the goalkeeper enter and leave as they please. The goalkeeper substitutions can only be made when the ball is out of play and with the referee's consent. Now, law number 4 is about the player's equipment. The usual equipment should be numbered shirts, shorts, socks, protective shin guards, and footwear with rubber soles. Now, the compulsory equipment of a player comprises the following separate items. Number 1, a shirt with sleeves. Number 2, shorts, wherein the goalkeeper is permitted to wear long trousers. Number 3, socks. Tape or any material applied or worn externally must be the same color as the part of the sock that is applied to or covers. Number 4, shin guards. These must be made of suitable material to provide reasonable protection and be covered by the socks. Number 5, footwear. Now, a player whose footwear or shin guard is lost accidentally must replace it as soon as possible and no later than when the ball next goes out of play. If before doing so the player scores a goal or is involved in the scoring of a goal by playing the ball in the build-up, the goal is awarded. Now, for colors, the two teams must wear colors that distinguish them from each other as well as from the match officials.
Law number 5, the referees. Each match is controlled by 2 referees, the referee and the second referee, who have full authority to enforce the laws of the game in connection in the match. The decisions of the referees regarding facts connected with play, including whether or not a goal is scored and the result of the match, are final. The decisions of the referee prevail over those of the second referee whenever there is disagreement between them. The referee acts as timekeeper and third referee in the event that these other 2 match officials are not present. Suspends or abandons the match at his or her discretion for any offenses against the futsal laws of the game. Suspends or abandons the match because of outside interference of any kind. The second referee replaces a referee who becomes injured or indisposed. Law number 6. The other match officials. 2 assistant referees may be appointed, a third referee and a timekeeper, who must perform their duties in accordance with the futsal laws of the game. They are positioned off the pitch, level with the halfway line and on the same side as the substitution zone. The timekeeper remains seated at the timekeeper's table, while the third referee may perform his or her duties either seated or standing up. The timekeeper and the third referee are equipped with a suitable chronometer and the necessary equipment to keep a record of accumulated fouls, which are supplied by the association or club under whose jurisdiction the match is being played. They are provided with a timekeeper's table in order to perform their duties correctly. Law number 7. Duration of the match. The match lasts for 2 equal periods of 20 minutes of playing time, which may only be reduced if permitted by competition rules. The timekeeper signals the end of each 20-minute period and the extra time periods and an acoustic signal. The teams are entitled to a 1-minute timeout in each period. Players are entitled to an interval at halftime, not exceeding 15 minutes. If extra play time is played, there is no interval between the two periods. The teams simply change halves of the pitch and the team officials and substitutes switch benches. However, a short drinks period which should not exceed 1 minute is permitted at halftime in extra time. Law number 8. The start and restart of play. A kick-off starts both periods of a match and both periods of extra time, and restarts play after a goal has been scored. Free kicks, direct or indirect, penalty kicks, kick-ins, goal clearances, and corner kicks or other restarts. A drop ball is the start when the referee stops play, and the law does not require one of the above restarts. If an offense occurs when the ball is not in play, this does not change how play is restarted. Law number 9. The ball in and out of play. Ball out of play. The ball is out of play when it has wholly passed over the goal line or touch line on the floor or in the line. Here, play has been stopped by the referees. It hits the ceiling. The ball is also out of play when it touches a match official, remains on the pitch, and a team starts a promising attack, or the ball goes directly into the goal, or the team in position of the ball changes. In these 3 cases, involving the ball touching a match official, play is restarted with a drop ball. Ball in play. The ball is in play at all other times when it touches a match official, as well as when it rebounds off a goalpost or the crossbar and remains on the pitch. Indoor pitch. The minimum height of ceilings shall be stipulated in the competition rules. If the ball hits the ceiling while in play, the game is restarted with a kick-in to be taken by opponents of the team that last touched the ball. The kick-in is taken from the point on the touchline nearest to the place on the floor above which the ball hit the ceiling.
Law 10. Determining the outcome of a match. Goal scored. A goal is scored when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, between the goalpost and under the crossbar, provided that no offense has been committed by the team scoring the goal. If the goal is moved or overturned by a defending team player, whether accidentally or deliberately, and the referees confirm the ball has passed over the goal line and would have entered the goal between the normal position of the goalpost, the referee shall award a goal. The offending player that moved or overturned the goal shall be cautioned by the referee. If the goalkeeper throws the ball directly into the opponent's goal, a goal clearance shall also be awarded. No goal. If one of the referees signals a goal before the ball has passed wholly over the goal line and immediately realizes his or her error, play is restarted with a drop ball. Winning team. The team scoring the greater number of goals during a match is the winner. If both teams scored an equal number of goals or if no goals are scored, the match is drawn. When the competition rules require there to be a winning team after a drawn match or home-away tie, the only permitted procedures to determine the winning team are A. The away goals rule, B. 2 equal periods of extra time not exceeding 5 minutes each, or C. Kicks from the penalty mark. A combination of the above procedures may be used. Away goals. Competition rules may provide that where teams play each other home and away, if the aggregate score is equal after the second match, any goals scored on the pitch of the opposing team will count double. Law 11. Offside. There is no offside in futsal. Law 12. Fouls and misconduct. Direct and indirect free kicks and penalty kicks can only be awarded for offenses committed when the ball is in play. Direct free kick. A direct free kick is awarded if a player commits any of the following offenses: charges, jumps at, kicks or attempts to kick,
pushes, strikes or attempts to strike, tackles or challenges, trips or attempts to trip, a handball offense, holding an opponent, impeding an opponent with contact, biting or spitting at someone. All of these offenses listed in this section count as accumulated fouls. Handling the ball. Except for the goalkeepers in their penalty area, it is an offense if a player deliberately touches the ball with his or her hand or arm, gains possession or control of the ball after it has touched his or her hand or arm. The above offenses apply even if the ball touches a player's hand or arm directly from the head or body, including the foot of another player who is close. It is an offense if any player, including a goalkeeper, scores in the opponent's goal directly from his or her hand or arm, even if it is accidental. The goalkeeper has the same restrictions on handling the ball as any other player outside the penalty area. If the goalkeeper handles the ball inside his or her penalty area, when not permitted to do so, an indirect free kick is awarded but there is no disciplinary sanction. Indirect free kick. An indirect free kick is awarded if a player plays in a dangerous manner, impedes the progress of an opponent, is guilty of dissent using offensive, insulting, or abusive language and or gestures, prevents the goalkeeper from releasing or throwing the ball, commits any other offense not mentioned in the futsal laws for which the play is stopped to caution or send off a player. An indirect free kick is also awarded if a goalkeeper commits any of the following offenses: controls the ball with the hands, arms, or feet in his or her own half of the pitch for more than 4 seconds. After playing the ball, wherever on the pitch, touches it again in his or her own half of the pitch after it has been deliberately played to the goalkeeper by a teammate without an opponent playing or touching it. Touches the ball with the hands or arms inside his or her own penalty area. Where this is outlawed by domestic rules for youth veterans, disability, and or grassroots futsal, throws the ball directly over the halfway line. Disciplinary action. The referees have the authority to take disciplinary action from entering the pitch for the pre-match inspection until leaving the pitch after the match ends. A player or team official who commits a cautionable or sending off offense, either on or off the pitch against any other person or the futsal laws of the game, is disciplined according to the offense. The yellow card communicates a caution and the red card communicates a sending off. Cautionable offenses. A player or a substitute is cautioned if guilty of delaying the restart of a play, dissent by word or action, entering or re-entering the pitch without one of the referee's permission, failing to respect the required distance when play is restarted with a corner kick or free kick or kick-in, persistent offenses, or unsupporting behavior. Where 2 separate cautionable offenses are committed, even in close proximity, they should result in 2 cautions. Sending off. Sending off offenses include delaying the restart of the play by opposing team, deliberately leaving the technical area, entering the opposing technical area in an aggressive or confrontational manner, deliberately throwing or kicking an object into the pitch, aggressive behavior towards any other person, receiving a second caution in the same match, using offensive or insulting or abusive language and or gestures, using unauthorized electronic or communication equipment, or violent conduct. Law 13. Free kick. Direct and indirect free kicks are awarded to the opposing team of a player, substitute, sent off player, or team official guilty of an offense. All free kicks should be taken within 4 seconds and the 4-second count must be shown clearly. A free kick can be taken by lifting the ball with the foot or with both feet simultaneously. Feinting to take the free kick is permitted as part of futsal. If a player, while correctly taking a free kick, deliberately kicks the ball at an opponent in order to play the ball again but not in a careless or reckless manner or using excessive force, the referee shall allow the play to continue. Offenses and sanctions. If, when a free kick is taken, an opponent is closer to the ball than the required distance, the kick is retaken unless the advantage can be applied. If a player takes a free kick quickly and an opponent who is closer than 5 meters from the ball intercepts it, the referee shall allow the play to continue. However, an opponent who deliberately prevents a free kick from being taken quickly must be cautioned for delaying the restart of the play.
Law 14. Accumulated fouls. Accumulated fouls refer to all fouls mentioned in Law 12. Once a team has reached 5 fouls, those accumulated in the second half transfer over to the extra time from the 6th foul. Firstly, that team shall not be allowed a defensive wall. Secondly, all free kicks shall be directed, no indirect free kicks. Thirdly, infringements committed within 12 meters of the goal line shall be punished with a direct free kick from the point of infringement. Infringements committed from 12 meters or further from the goal line shall be punished with a direct free kick from the second penalty spot. Until the ball is kicked into play, all players other than the goalkeeper and kicker shall remain behind an imaginary line that is in line with the ball and is parallel to the goal line. The goalkeeper shall remain in his penalty area at least 5 meters away from the ball. The kicker must aim at the goal with intention of scoring. No other player may touch the ball until it has been kicked by the pitch, rebounded from the goalpost or crossbar, or has left the pitch. If the infringement took place in the penalty area and does not merit a penalty kick, the free kick is to be taken from 6 meters on the spot nearest to where the infringement occurred. Law 15. Penalty kicks. Penalty kicks are to be taken from the penalty mark on the midpoint of the 6-meter line. The kicker is to aim at the goal with the intention of scoring. All players must be out of the penalty area, and the players of the opposing team must also be at least 5 meters from the penalty spot. The kicker shall not play the ball a second time until it has been touched by another player. Law 16. Kick-ins. These are to be taken at place of the throw-in. The ball is placed on the touchline before kicking. The kicker's foot, not kicking the ball, must be outside or at least on the touchline. If it crosses the touchline all the way into the pitch, the kick-in is given to the opposing team. The kick-in must be taken within 4 seconds. If not, the kick-in is given to the opposing team. The kicker cannot play the ball a second time until it has been played by another player. Infringement of this rule entails an indirect free kick to the opposing from the point of infringement. Players on opposing team must be at least 5 meters from the point of kick-in. You cannot score directly from a kick-in. Law 17. Goal clearance. It is to be taken in the place of a goal kick. From inside the penalty area, the goalkeeper throws the ball into play. The ball is not in play until it has passed outside the penalty area. If the goal clearance is received inside the penalty area, the goal clearance shall be taken over. Law 18. Corner kicks. This is somewhat similar to Law 16, wherein we discussed throw-ins. A ball placed on the corner with no such attempt of a corner kick arc. If the ball is misplaced, the corner kick is taken over. It must be taken within 4 seconds. Failure to do so entails indirect free kick to the opposing team from the corner mark. The kicker cannot play the ball a second time until it has been played by another player. Infringement of this rule entails an indirect free kick to the opposing team from the point of infringement. Players on opposing teams must be at least 5 meters away from the point of the corner kick. You can score directly from a corner kick. Annex 1. Penalty kick shootouts. The main referee decides which goal is to be used. A coin toss is used to decide the order. 5 kicks to be taken by 5 different players selected from the 12 suited players. Captain of each team announces these 5 to the main referee before the kicks are taken. If 2 teams are still tied after 5 kicks, the additional kicks will be taken on a sudden death basis by the rest of the players who have not kicked yet. Players sent off during the match are not eligible to take these kicks. Any eligible player may change places with his goalkeeper. While the penalty shootouts is in progress, players will remain on the opposite half of the pitch. The assistant referee shall control this area.
layout. The futsal court consists of 4 lines forming a rectangular shape. The 2 longer parallel lines are called touch lines and have the length of 25 to 42 meters maximum, and the shorter ones are called goal lines and is 15 to 25 meters long. Officially, all the lines that are drawn is 8 centimeters wide. This rectangular court is divided with a line right in the middle, and this is called the halfway line. The penalty area, 6 meters in radius and half of a circle, is centered at each side of the goal line. The penalty mark and the secondary penalty mark is drawn 6 meters and 10 meters from the center of the goal lines, respectively. Substitution zones are located on one of the touch lines in front of the team benches. Each zone is 5 meters long and is 5 meters away from the center of the touchline. The goal is located in the center of the goal lines. It consists of 2 upright posts with a distance of 3 meters from each other and is joined by a horizontal crossbar with 2 meters distance from the ground. The depth of the goal, or the distance between the goal lines and the back of the net, is at least 80 centimeters at the top and 100 centimeters at the ground level. Equipment. The equipment used in playing futsal are mainly the ball and the goal. Ball. A ball used for futsal is 300 to 413 grams and has a circumference of 62 to 64 centimeters, bounces 55 to 65 centimeters on first bounce, and is made of leather or other suitable material. The goal. The goal used in futsal is usually 3 by 2 meters in dimension and has a runback ranging from 1 meter to 2 meters. Futsal positions. Futsal is a game played by 5 players and each one can contribute to both attack and defense. Substitutes can be used anytime during the match. Left and right wing. Futsal consists of 2 wingers positioned adjacent to the touch lines. These players can move back and forth depending on the movement of the ball. These players are usually the movers of the ball. Pivot or target. The pivot is usually the center of the team's offense, which means that this player is mainly responsible in gaining the team a score. Fixo or fixed defender. The fixo is the team's last line of defense before the goalkeeper. Therefore, this player is positioned just outside the penalty mark. The fixo is responsible in keeping their position from scoring. However, this player is not limited to defense only, as it can also play attack. When this happens, the winger or the pivot usually takes the fixo's place. Lastly, the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is the protector of the net and is the one in charge of keeping the opposition's goals out. This player should be quick on its feet and has the ability to reach their hands within the penalty area.
Now, let us proceed to the core values we get from futsal. In an article in www.inspiresport.com, Dean Evans, the co-founder of the Football Center, quoted that sport teaches us development. It helps us learn things such as resilience, leadership, accountability, respect, and patience. Lessons that this sport teaches us can help us develop as players and all-around good people too. According to Massachusetts Youth Soccer Association, futsal is a self-teaching game. It is a sport that needs a player to be exposed to situations where they are challenged to pass, receive, dribble, and move where under pressure in a confined space. In the early stages of playing futsal, it is an excellent development tool for kids. So aside from the athletic side of the sport, there is also development and improvement for the core values we get from it.
Number 1 value is teamwork. Futsal is a team player sport consisting of 5 members. In a team sport like this, group working environment will require teamwork to be a success. Futsal is a great model in which to learn the basics in measuring your efforts in a team format as one piece of the puzzle that must fit with the other pieces in order to create the environment of success. The players will learn how the importance of the team supersedes the recognition of individual accomplishments. That by working together as a part of a group with a common goal, things can be accomplished that otherwise would be out of the reach of individuals. Number 2 value behind the sport of futsal is the value of practice and preparation. Come ready or never start. That pretty much says it all when it comes to defining the importance of practice and preparation in succeeding in futsal. The players can learn the value of preparation and practice in order to allow them to reach their goals as an individual or a team. They can experience the success that comes with the proper preparation or the failure that comes when not enough focus is placed on putting the time in to practice and get better. It is much the same scenario in their school careers. Number 3 value behind the sport of futsal is discipline. Futsal can teach a player discipline in a palatable way while they participate in a practice they deeply enjoy. They need discipline to learn the skills, the discipline to put in the time and preparation so they can maximize their performance. They learn that if they have the discipline to what it takes to improve and excel, performance rewards can follow. Often, they need discipline while participating in the game of futsal to maximize their chance of success. They learn the lesson quickly. Without that discipline, they do experience the joy of victory. Overcoming adversity. The fourth value behind the sport of futsal. The players in futsal can learn how to overcome adversity and temporary failures through the many situations they face in athletics, both in their preparation and during the competitions. They can learn the mentality they need to both overcome and learn from adversity they face as they strive for their goals. The goal can be just winning the particular game or attaining a particular athletic goal. Learning to overcome adversity is a mental skill that will serve them well for the rest of their lives.
In addition to the values we can get from futsal is respect. Respect for others is one of the basic requirements of democratic life and the capacity to live in society. It affects the individual and has both a social and a collective dimension. Respect is a fundamental part of sport, for sport generates situations of tension that have to be resolved almost instantaneously. There is therefore a need, above rules and standards, for this value to be present in order to guarantee cordial and correct interrelations between people. In sport, respect is needed in similar situations to those where it is demanded in wider society, but the intensity of the moment implies that the presence or absence of respect can be very obvious and can affect the development of the situation or event. Next is effort. There are many social models that avoid effort and advocate instead luck, opportunism, and immediate triumph. However, effort is a value that can take us to unthinkable heights and lead us to achieve targets and objectives that may at other times appear distant or inaccessible. Dedication, rigor, constancy, sacrifice, and perseverance all bear fruit, while luck in the search for a quick win are often fleeting and momentary. Note that at school, teachers have for a long time been promoting a culture of effort as the vehicle for academic development and personal achievement, and this helps to construct new social models. Ambition is the desire to achieve the maximum performance and do things not only well, but also as well as is feasibly possible and to improve every day. This value is applicable both to individuals and to groups. It involves use of a web of values as varied as excellence, patience, discipline, order, motivation, and responsibility. Indeed, ambition invokes and requires a broad system of values and in turn is related with a job being done well, effort, and rigor. Regarding targets, ambition is probably the surest way of achieving them, for it is the impulse to grow. Humility. Often when athletes and people in general achieve the goals they have set themselves, they start feeling superior in physical, moral, economic, and other terms, and this leads them to forget certain values that have in all probability helped them to achieve those very goals: effort, perseverance, self-control, and etc. We must always show humility and also such values as effort, rigor, and responsibility to win respect in its field and among its opponents and generally everyone. Humility probably consists of knowing how to be clear about one's values and to maintain them and defend them even in situations where you are clearly superior and more successful.
Transformation. When there is transformation, players are open to be open-minded and willing to accept and face challenges. Discovery. Through discovery, creativity is showcased. By asking the right guide questions, thoughts are evoked which ultimately creates learning. Players are challenged to reach beyond their limits and bring forth the ability that lies within them that others don't see. Players are encouraged to think for themselves and be able to solve problems, leading to more creativity. Honor. Honor is the respect or devotion to a cause. Players are asked to respect co-players, the mentors or the coaches, referees, and above all, the game itself. It is also important for players to respect themselves because self-respect leads to self-discipline. It allows players to be devoted to something that gives them a sense of worth and direction. Strength. Being mentally prepared or ready is an aspect of the game where players commonly falter. However, preparedness and strength is needed to step back and analyze challenges, utilize resources, and mentors to guide players. Lastly, passion. It is always about this. Players play and coaches mentor because of passion. It is all about having fun and enjoying what you do. It brings out heart, will, hard work, and perseverance. It drives players to push through their limits.